What is going on, everybody? We're sitting here with old Robby and old Justin. What's going on, you guys? I mean, we've been talking about this for a while now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I wish we could say Ryan was here, too.
Brian.
Did I say Justin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wish Ryan was here, too. For some reason, it's been a while. Like, I got you guys mixed up for the longest time. But, yeah, he's doing laundry, whatever he's doing. I don't know. But he didn't want to get dogged out if he was here, but he's going to get dogged out even worse now that he's not here. But what's going on with you guys? You guys been good?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How about yourself?
Good. Not too shabby. So explain you guys yourself. Justin, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My name's Justin Beck. I run the Dirty 30 waterfowl Instagram page, and been hunting for about, I think this is my 6th year.
So you're right around me then, because I haven't been hunting that long either.
Yeah, since about the end of high school.
Yeah,
my
right
senior
around
year
there.
or so. Hunt all over Southeast Michigan. Go out of state in North Dakota.
That's about it. Robby, what about you?
About the same as Justin. I run the Bangin' Waterfowl Instagram account, and that's about it.
Banging. How long you been hunting though? You been same? You said.
No, a little bit shorter, about 5 years. A year shorter.
So, like, what'd you guys do? You guys grew up together, same high school, same.
He was a little bit older than me.
Oh, you're just a
same
baby.
high
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because you just had a birthday.
Friday, yeah.
Good night. That's something. Because we just got connected this year, which we've heard of each other for a while now, I feel like, but just haven't even talked to each other or, you know, for whatever reason. We all, I feel like, don't know why. But I don't know. I'm glad that we finally did. I'm finally glad that we, like, met up. And, you know, I've said it before on the podcast where it's like, it's nice to have people in your area and you get to know the people and the people that have the same interests as you and looking out for the stuff that you have and you're looking out for the stuff that they have and just being able to communicate towards each other and helping each other out, because at the end of the day, even on public land wise, like if you can't help out the next person next to you, like, or like you're not shooting the passing birds, for example, wise, like you're both going to have a shitty hunt and that's going to be the end of the day. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It's nice to kind of finally get the groups together and get to know you guys over, you know, what is it, been 2 months into the season, going into a third month?
Yep.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, it's been a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been, I don't know. I mean, we've hunted most of September with you guys. And I think this past weekend was the first time during duck season or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you guys were gone the first season, right?
Yeah, we were in North Dakota.
Yeah, so let's break into that right now then. So North Dakota, how'd you guys do? Or what's your thoughts, I guess?
Well, I'll start off with how we did. We did pretty good. We shot 138, I think, for the whole week.
Yeah.
Out of 4, 5?
7.
7 guys?
7 total.
7 guys total?
But we'd split up. It'd be 4, and then it'd be me, Justin, and our other buddy, Drew.
Okay.
Yeah, there were some hunts. Me and Robby would take our dogs. We both brought our dogs.
Okay. Dog got pissed over everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we had a few solo hunts with just us and our dogs. It was pretty cool. We shot a couple pheasants.
That's sweet.
That
Yeah,
was
I got
awesome.
some Snapchats over that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some ditch chickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, basically just, what do you want to know about it?
I don't know. I mean, how much different is it compared to like here wise? I mean, obviously like the migrations are completely different, but I mean, everybody always talks about how different North Dakota is, and you don't want to leave there, and like why is that though? I mean, I know you get to hunt off the road and stuff, but what makes it so much different?
The biggest thing I'd say is like the bird numbers, obviously, but the birds fly all day long. I mean, they don't necessarily feed all day long.
Right.
You get a feed, but if you're hunting a water hole, you'll get traffic all day long.
See, that's what's crazy. For here, I feel like we got to scout so much to be able to understand like what birds are doing and why they're doing this on this day compared to that day. It's for example, like Saturday, which we'll get into. those birds hit that other traffic field that we were going to hunt Sunday, and I didn't expect to even see a goose that morning because how bluebird day it was. But hearing that from North Dakota, I mean, if the birds are jumping around like all day long, that's...
Yeah, I'd say another thing, too, North Dakota, it's a no-post state. So anything that's not posted with a sign on the field or, on your phone, because they...
I was going to say, it's e-state now, too, right?
Yep.
You can internet, put it on there?
Yeah, it's like electronically posted or whatever. So if it's not none of those, you can hunt it. And that was pretty cool. You drive around and try to look at, the plots or...
Right.
Just a couple little other things. And... you can hunt basically all over.
What made you guys want to go out there and hunt?
Well, going back to Ryan.
Old Ryan.
Yeah.
Doing laundry still right now.
So he's got family out there.
Okay.
So we went, I think this was our third year.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's a third year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was only your second year for some reason.
No, this is our third. And I'll say that made it a lot easier, too, because we already had
100%.
a lot of spots that we scouted over the last couple of years.
Right.
So we'd kind of just hit our couple spots,
right.
Just going around and looking. But anyway, so Ryan, he has a bunch of family out in North Dakota. So his grandpa, I think, has been going there for 40 years or so.
Oh, yeah.
So the first year we went, he showed us all these other spots that he's been hunting since he was a kid. And we kind of just, we'd go our own path, but we'd, follow what he did,
Same area kind of thing. Just knew exactly. Because I feel like a lot of people even go out there and they're like, oh, North Dakota, the birds are going to be absolutely everywhere. But I always feel like, some people are way off on their landmarks, I guess you want to say. And birds are there. They're just not in the right county or area or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Another difference I'd say is the farmers. The farmers out there, you're way more likely to get permission on a farm out there than you are here.
Oh, it's tough here.
Yeah.
It's tough here because I always get like text messages or Snapchats or whatever it is, and it's like, well, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you do this? And like getting on permission, it's like, well, dude, like it takes a lot, man. It might take 3-4 years, and it, you might have to put some work in. You might have to help out during the summertime. You might have to, it's a lot of who you know, not what you know, and that's what life's obviously getting to nowadays. But you still got to put the work in. You can't just go up to some random person and you knock on the door. You're still a random person to them knocking on their door for whatever reason. They don't know you, so why do they trust you? Jumping in the field with a bunch of buddies, shooting a bunch of guns off and whatnot.
Exactly.
It's absolutely crazy that people are like, oh, it's going to be easy. It's going to be this, it's going to be that. And it's crazy that people think it's so much easier for private land hunters because I feel like we do twice the amount of work compared to the public land hunters.
Right.
Yeah, I would say the hunts are a little bit easier because you're not sitting 60 yards from someone else.
The hunts in general, yeah.
But the work that you got to put into it is way more.
Right. With scouting, I mean, because anybody can grab one field and hunt it every day of the year and not shoot a single bird. I mean, you got to be able to scout, and that's what, meeting you guys this past year, helping each other out and whatnot, and obviously helps out a ton, but the scouting is just absolutely everything. Not one person can cover all the ground in one day or 1 week even. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It gets tough. It gets frustrating. It gets tough. I mean, you asked me the question not too long ago about bringing people out, and the birds this year, even in general, have just been kind of weary. I feel like they've just been different birds compared to previous years. They've just been we don't have the birds I feel like that we had last couple of years. Iffy.
Yeah, I'd say iffy. I'd say we're getting a lot of new birds.
Recently, yeah. But I feel like even September wise, this year in general has been like a struggle for me.
Mm-hmm.
September was really weird, I thought.
Yeah.
There was birds going to feed at 11.
Yeah.
On 80-degree days.
Right. It's been
just wasn't normal.
Definitely weird. Going back to North Dakota though, before we get into the complete season recap so far, what kind of ducks were you guys shooting over there? Just a lot of puddlers or?
Yeah, mostly. A lot of gadwall.
A lot of gray ducks.
Yeah, we were shooting. So we hunted a lot of sloughs, a lot of little cattle ponds, and just holes in the middle of a cornfield, just a bunch of water holes.
Right.
I mean, we were shooting divers and.
Which is insane to me to even like think of that, like just cornholes and dive, like not trying to jump into something, but like that's like this weekend shooting a bunch of divers out in that hole that we hunted.
Well, that's exactly what it would have been like.
Yeah.
It was like getting into the redheads or canvasbacks in one of those fields.
That's
like
nuts,
a hole
man.
like that we hunted this weekend. We shoot canvasbacks out about there.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So what we hunted this weekend was kind of like what you'll see
Out that way.
all over out that way. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
man.
mean, after every hill, there's one.
Mm-hmm.
There's just holes everywhere.
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. I mean, you just never know what's in each hole. And that always kind of surprised me too, especially out there with like the divers aspect. I always feel like the divers are on the big water, and we're used to like I grew up obviously here where we're at now on the big pond, I guess you want to say. You see all the divers and stuff like that. So if you're hunting a slough like that, and it's like, why are the ducks even out there? You know what I mean? Like, what are they even doing out that way?
I mean, we got some divers on the big lake. We shot a lot of gadwall too. A couple widgeon.
Mm-hmm.
We got into the mallards a little bit.
Yeah.
Were they there though?
No.
Really.
So
No.
we missed it like by a week.
Okay.
If we would have went the next week, it would.
Yeah, some guys that we know went the week after, and I mean, just
Tore 'em up.
shot the piss out of the mallards.
Was the weather different though?
Yeah. So was it 4 days
Uh,
after we left?
It was like 2 days after we left.
2 days after we left, it snowed, and
Got like a foot of snow, shut the highway down.
No kidding. Cause
Yep.
I remember you guys telling me about that with like, the weather can change that fast. 1 minute you're wearing t-shirts, next minute you're wearing.
Yeah, it was, I'd say, mid-50s to 60 the whole time we were there.
Yeah, it's rough.
well, the year before, we were breaking ice in the morning, and in our t-shirts, dropping
Yeah.
our waders by
Right.
the afternoon because it was 75 degrees.
No, you guys are hunting all day out there,
Yeah, I mean,
depending on birds, obviously.
well,
Most
I mean,
of the time we hunt the morning, and then
Yeah.
we'll scout and shoot roosters in the afternoon.
Okay,
yeah,
I gotcha.
yeah, that's another thing that makes scouting pretty fun out
Yeah.
there. Is there you can have a shotgun at your hip,
Right.
while you're driving, but you just can't have one in the chamber. So I mean, you start driving down, you find a spot that's not posted,
Just jump out there.
jump out and shoot the pheasant.
It feels real legal, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not.
Shit, that's what's crazy to me too. Is I feel like it'd be so hard to like scout that or hunt areas like that because like you can scout one area one night, and by the time you leave, somebody can run right by and jump shoot that loaf that you got.
Mm-hmm.
But for also at the same time, like with you guys saying, you guys can see miles and miles and miles down the road and not see a single car.
Oh.
I mean, that's got to be insane too, compared to what we're used to.
Like the first year we were there, we took this 2-track. Like, you go down the main road way down, don't think any, like, you think the road's ending, you turn onto a 2-track, and then go like a mile on that, and then you come into a big water hole, and there's like thousands of teal.
That's
Just
insane.
like, you'd never see this from a regular road. Like,
Right.
That's one thing we really got into this year was the teal.
Really?
Yeah, we did shoot a good bit of teal.
Any studs or
No, not really.
no blue wing or green
A
wing?
couple green wing studs, but not no blue wing.
No. I feel like the green wing around here are more. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of blue wing around our area, or studs anyway. I feel like I see more green wing studs than I do blue wing studs. Springtime obviously is a little bit different from that reverse migration, but I mean, earlier in the year, I mean, that September teal season for us, it's all just yearling birds. I feel like it's tough.
Now, do you guys go out for teal at all, or?
Last year we did. Last year we did a couple times, and we actually didn't do that bad at all. This year, I feel, yeah, I'll tell you one thing. This season has been going by so fast for us. I feel like it's just been flying by, and I don't know if it's just because of the struggle that we've been having or what, but we didn't go out for teal. Maybe my dad went out once, and I don't think they shot anything. I don't think we've shot one teal this year. But like I said, I feel like this year's been going by so fast. I mean, it's already November. It's just absolutely.
I feel like this year the corn at least is getting cut late. Like, I feel like in October, always we've hunted cut corn.
Yeah, we haven't hunted a cut cornfield yet.
No.
No.
Well, you guys hunted the sweet corn, but.
Yeah, I guess we hunted the sweet corn.
Real.
Right. I feel like we hunted corn once. Yeah, we hunted it once. And I think that was when you guys were gone. Because we shot 6 because Dylan was back on the podcast.
Oh, okay.
And it was the Ohio DNR officer was back on the podcast for the second time. And we hunted it once. It was already it wasn't tilled under yet. We didn't even do that good on it. We shot 6 or whatever it was. But I'll tell you what, man, with you guys, we've been stuck in that lucky number 8 for like all year long. We've been shooting 8 or we've been doing really good. It's either one or the other.
Yeah.
It's been rough, man.
Yeah, it's been fun, though.
It has been fun. It has been fun. So, hunting with our group this year, you guys aren't used to the big numbers of people.
No,
not at all.
So, for experiencing that, because, I mean, I think our biggest group this year was 14 when Paul came into town.
Yeah.
When it was with that real foggy morning for us.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think our lowest number was what, maybe 8, 9, maybe somewhere right around that
I think it was
ballpark.
7 that first time.
Was it 7? Right. Okay, so it's right around that ballpark. What's your guys' thought process? Because I know a lot of people are like, dude, big numbers, screw that, this, that, and the other, and it's just so disorganized, whatever it is. I mean, what's your guys' thought process on switching over from your guys' 3 to 7 guy hunts compared to 6 to 14 guy hunts?
I would say the way that you do it, you got it pretty organized for bringing that many people out there. I would say the biggest difference for me is, like when we got a lot of people out there, it's kind of hard to know which bird you're shooting at.
Yeah.
And that's, like even though this last week, we shot about 90% of the birds that came in, 90, 95.
Mm-hmm. Well, if we didn't do that, I'd probably quit waterfowl.
Yeah. But it's just, when you got a smaller group, you can kind of,
choose and pick
which birds you're shooting.
Right.
I think the way you do it, it's as good as you can get for that many people.
I mean, does it kind of like, what was your, I guess it's hey, sit your hiney down. What was your guys' thought process? Because a lot of those guys hate just even the thought process or thought of that many guys going out there. I mean, when you guys first started hunting with us this year, was it kind of like, what the hell are we getting ourselves into, or like?
At the, at that one field with Paul, I was kind of like, man, this is a lot of people.
Oh, dude, when Paul pulled up, he's like, dude, what is this, a used car parking lot? Or like, what the hell's going on here? And I said it this past weekend too. I was like, man, I got to stop doing that at night and just stop inviting every single person I have in my contacts. But
I think it's a lot easier when you're in the standing corn for the hide. I think the biggest part is the hide. When you're in standing corn, it's a little bit easier than
100%.
Putting, 4 or 5 A-frames out.
Right.
It's a little bit easier to hide in there.
But I tell you what, though, that one hunt, though, the A-frames did look
they look
killer.
damn good.
Yeah. Because I think me and you, Justin, talked about it where obviously 4 A-frames look a lot better than just 1 A-frame out in the field. Like, we'll throw one out, even if it's just the core group or whatever it is, and 1, make obviously more room than we need, and then 2, make it more realistic compared to, just one big box out there.
Right.
Just like half of our permanent blinds out there right now.
Yeah, I was surprised at how well we were able to hide that day.
Yeah, that. Besides the fog, because I think if the fog wasn't there, it would have been a lot better of a day. Because you couldn't see a bird past 40 yards.
No.
And
they were in there and they were gone.
Yeah. As soon as you shot, they were gone. And that's what's kind of tough with me. We have that many guys out there and we shoot, X amount of birds. It's like, well, dang, dude, it wasn't really that good of a day because we had that many guys out there. You know what I mean? But it's still the camaraderie of everybody being out there. It's still getting to know everybody. You guys got to meet Paul a little bit. You guys, meeting Jimmy, the old inclusive Jimmy. It's just, I don't know. There's something about that fun of it all. You know what I mean? And then because I grew up deer hunting. I don't know about you guys, but I grew up deer hunting and, you know, hunting by myself or one other person or whatever. And it's like, this is all right, whatever. And then you hunt with a bunch of guys and you're joking and laughing about it the whole time. It's just, I don't know, it makes it that much funner. You know what I mean? It's obviously a little bit more stressful in the mornings, but it's, you know, it's less work for everybody, especially with the corn hides you're saying. Like, if everybody, and that's what I say, and I will say that our group does really good at, everybody knows their jobs in the morning. Everybody knows what to do in the morning, and everybody just knocks it out and gets it done, and we're all good to go. You know what I mean? But I know everybody's not used to 14 guys being out there or whatever it is, because, hell, half the time I'm not used to it either. You know, I feel like Saturday was even a struggle for me at first.
Now, have you always hunted with that many people, or?
No. In the beginning, it was just me, my dad, and my uncle. And then we met Brandon. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago we met Brandon because his grandpa had a bunch of birds behind the house there. And we knock on the door. He's like, "Oh, my grandson's hunting it." And we're like, "Oh, all right." Like, looking at his grandpa, it's like, all right, there's probably a 12-year-old hunting this field. Right. And I start texting this guy, which I'm assuming is like a 12 to like middle-aged teenager kid that's going to be hunting or whatever. And I like, "Oh, I'll come over and meet you, whatever, and we can figure out what we're going to do in the morning." And I come over, and guy's got gauges in his ear, big old beard. I'm like, "Dude, you are not who I was expecting to be here right now, man." And so that's how we met Brandon, and Matt came with Brandon and stuff. And you know, Jimmy works with my dad, and so Jimmy came along, which Jimmy is a workhorse, I'll tell you that. Jimmy is, I tell you what, he's a shooter if it's a still or standstill decoy, I'll tell you that much. But, you know, and then you get friends that you just want to start taking out more and more, and then you start getting to know guys that actually want to put the work in and scout, and they got the same passion for it all, and it's like, how do you not take those guys out? Right. You're all having a good time. Like, how do you not do that? And my sister started getting into it, and just one thing after another. And, you know, part of it, it's like me where I got to be more stern about how many guys I want to take out and stuff like that. Because what did I say the other day at 7 o'clock, I had 7 guys. By 8:30, I had, what did we have, 12 guys out there that day?
Yeah, it was a good bit.
Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, holy shit when you first get out there, but at the end of the day, it's like, all right, I'm glad that all worked out the way it did.
I think before we started hunting with you guys, it was, I think 8 was our biggest. How many people we had?
Was it 8?
Yeah, and even that was rare.
Yeah.
Like, for the most part, it's just been
us 3 and
just us
sometimes
3 and
Drew.
Yeah, and then maybe 1 or 2 other guys.
Yeah.
If even.
And it's also tough, too, to find even, like, the property owners, the farmers or whatever, to be okay with that too, because obviously, you know, especially on the new farmers that are like, "Well, I don't know you, but yeah, go ahead and hunt it." Right. You just said it was your family and friends. Like, how many family and friends are actually going out? So obviously, you got to be cordial with that. But, you know, with getting to know the property owners and the farmers that we've had and the relationships that we have with them, it's just easier and easier. And it's just like, let's just kill every single bird that comes into the hole. Obviously, there's days where it's like, I just want 1 or 2 other guys. You know what I mean? Yeah. But, you know, that's 10 times the amount of work that you're going to have to put in to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's been a whole thing. Now, you guys are hunting mostly A-frames? You guys are doing mostly layouts?
Mostly layouts.
Well, this year has been a lot of A-frames.
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, and even the end of last year, we kind of like, it was almost 50-50. But like late season, we hunted mostly layouts, and then
dive bombs.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're dumb. No, I'm just joking. They are dumb. I hate dive bombs. Hate silhouettes in general, dude. But I will say it's time and place, though. We'll say work. Time and place.
I would say they work. You know, what we were saying was we don't throw just a spread of silhouettes. And I think we've been telling you this too.
Yeah, no, because that's what I was doing prior was all silhouettes, and that was it. Because like it was at the times where like we had to walk into the fields, we were like, oh well, we have a 4-wheeler, why don't we just use that instead? Like we were carrying the dive bombs and the layouts out, and it's easy to carry out 10, 20 dozen silhouette decoys out there compared to full bodies.
Yeah,
out into a middle of a field like that compared to.
Yeah, now during early season we'll use silhouettes like just on a quick hunt after work. If we got like a little like hay field or wheat field, we'll bring it out there.
Right.
But for the most part, as of right now, we're just using them as like fillers, just making the spread look bigger.
That's what I've always not done, is use them as fillers. Like I said, it's just all been silhouettes and that's it. Which, because you always hear like it's always bad to do or it's good to do, and that's a thing where it's nice to talk to people around the area or just in general with like a hunting industry of it, how they're doing compared to. Or how they're running their spreads or hide or whatever compared to like what we're doing. Like we never run our A-frames right in the middle of the field. Some guys do great at it. Some guys don't do good at it at all. Like I feel like it's just a confidence thing with whatever you do out there. Are you confident with running your A-frames or whatever out in the middle of the field? Then run it. If not, then do what we're doing.
I think we ran A-frames in the middle field once, maybe.
How'd that go?
When was that?
North Dakota.
Oh, okay. That's a whole
when we hunted
ball
that
game.
horn.
Yeah. Well, that was
That's
a little bit different.
Whole different ball game there.
Yeah. No, I don't think in Michigan. We've put them on tree lines and shit, obviously, but
that's and maybe obviously that might be. Maybe we could shoot a couple more birds off of the ditch lines and stuff like that. But I feel like every year especially this year was our first year putting the permanent blinds in, but now even talking to more and more property owners, we're able to put more and more out there, and it's just going to help us more and more.
Right.
I mean, the field that we hunted Saturday, he's talking about leaving all that corn up and stuff for us, or at least leaving a couple patches up for us out in the middle of the field. That way we don't have to carry blinds out there and stuff, and it's like,
That'd be nice.
All right, dude. Sounds good, man. Like, let me know, because I called him and I was like, "Hey, listen, man. I don't mean to be a dumb blonde or anything, or asking for too much, but how much would it be to leave everything out? Like to leave like 30 by 10 patch of corn out there so we can hide it?" And he's like, "Yeah, not a problem at all, man. Just I'll get a hold of you when we start cutting the corn." I'm like, "Okay, sweet, man." And I'm so grateful for to have like those relationships with this stuff, because obviously like stuff like that's not easy to just leave a patch out, or it's because it's tough. I don't want to make it harder for those guys, but you treat them right, they're going to treat you right at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just hopefully he doesn't run my phone over.
You want to talk about that, or?
Yeah, we can talk about that hunt. So, Friday night? Well, I'll even break it down even prior to that. We hunted that field the week before. We scouted it. It loaded back up. I think I was sending both you guys Snapchats. If I wasn't sending you, I was sending Justin the Snapchats of the birds out there. And it was loaded up Wednesday night, geese and ducks both. And then it slowly started trickling out. And we had a guy from Texas come in, and he's never set a grader before. And I was like, well, it's going to be a bluebird day. At least we'll shoot some ducks. I don't know if the geese are even going to be flying. And I think we seen 30 to 40 ducks in there maybe the day before. And it's a flooded cornhole field. And I think Friday night I called you, Justin, and I forget what you were doing.
We were up at the bar.
Yeah, we were up at the bar. No, I was deer hunting. I got done deer hunting, and you told me to call you.
Was it that, or were you working?
I might have been working.
I was going to say, because I know you worked that night, and then the next shift too.
Yeah, you're right.
And I was like, well, are you hunting tomorrow, or like, what's the plan? He's like, well, I'd like to. And I was like, well, I got room for you. And he's like, all right, cool. I know it's Robby's 21st tonight, this, that, and the other. I don't know what he's doing, because I think at first you were like, Robby might be deer hunting, and then Justin was probably doing laundry or something, or Ryan was probably doing laundry or something. And So, yeah, well, Ryan was playing house or whatever he was doing. It was just you at first, and then you talked to Robby, and he's like, well, can Robby come? I was like, yeah, it's not a problem. So we got there in the morning. Next thing you know, I got a guy pulling up with a boat. I got a guy, like some trucks that I didn't even like recognize at first. I'm like, who is this coming up? Whatever. Because, like, you've seen this field prior years.
Oh, yeah.
And the field loads up, and I'm trying to do it right. I'm trying to hunt it right because if we do hunt this field right continuously, it's just going to load up and load up and load up. Like, it's just one of those spots where it's just in a perfect.
That field's going to be crazy later in the year.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah.
I'd show you videos, but, we'll get to that here in a minute. But so we pull up. There's 12 guys at the field, and we start walking everything out, and we're walking up to the field and get everything set up. There's ducks landing in it. Like, what? As soon as we get set up with it, I'd say.
Yeah, it was pretty close.
I mean, it
10
wasn't.
minutes after.
I was saying
as soon as we got finished setting up, we had ducks.
I was saying it wasn't long because I remember saying like, "Hey, let's get everything situated," because I know there's the ducks gonna be flying any second now, and I feel like next thing you know, like the ducks are dumping in, and I'm like, all right, get ready, and they're like, "Yo, we got like 3 more minutes." I'm like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding me right now!" But shooting light comes, we start shooting ducks, this, that, and the other. Like I was looking at my phone in the morning time, and we continued to shoot ducks. I feel like for an hour straight, just
yeah.
Like there wasn't. I feel like for the first hour, maybe even 2 hours, there wasn't really a dull moment within the hunt.
No.
And next thing you know, I look over at my sister. I'm like, "Hey, you see my phone anywhere? Or have you seen my phone or anything?" She's like, "Why would I have your phone?" And I'm like, I don't know." And that's when I realized I'm pretty sure I dropped my phone in the water because Brad's dog, Millie, went out for one duck, and I went out for one duck, and then there was a time where I broke up the ice because that was the first sheet water. I didn't even think we were going to get ice on it. Or there was ice in the water. I was going to break that up. I didn't even think we were going to get ice out there. And I was breaking up the ice, and I think birds were coming or something. I started running back, and I hit a hole or something, and either that time my phone plopped out or something, man, and that thing is gone. I think every farmer I talked to after that hunt started laughing at me. It was like one of those things where it's like, I don't even know how to work the phone I have now, and it's like, I don't know. I felt so stupid after that dang hunt, man, but ended up being like I felt like a pretty damn good hunt in my opinion.
Oh, yeah. I will say, what's that guy's name?
Brad, yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to him and his dog because it saved us a whole lot of walking.
Oh, dude.
That dog was working.
That dog worked.
Yeah. And I'll even tell you guys afterwards. I'll tell you right now. So knowing that, the dog is a dog. You know what I mean? The dog is a dog. But I mean, it was putting in that work that day, and for a 3-year-old pup, I mean, I'd still say that's a pup. I mean, dog's a pretty dang good, smart dog.
Oh, yeah.
Because Brad was out there fox hunting the night before, predator hunting the night before. So, like, when they pulled up in the boat and was like, who the hell is this? Like, I didn't think they were even coming. Because they drove, I think, an hour and a half, I think their drive was. Something like that, which isn't that far from, like, what I have to drive out that way. But it's like you hunt it all night, and then you're going to come out and bird hunt and do this and do that after the hunt. Like, what are you guys even doing out here, man? Like, I don't know. But we got into him, though. I thought it was I thought it was a pretty damn good hunt.
Not even getting into it. We had them, 2 black ducks, I mean, 5 yards above our heads.
I feel like every shot that we got that day.
Oh, yeah, they were in our face for sure.
Yeah.
Except the geese.
Besides the 3-pack.
Yeah.
Besides that 3-pack. The 3-pack did it absolutely dirty.
Oh,
yeah.
The two end groups were like
trafficking.
They were right over top of us, shooting range, but not wanting to work. So they were pass shooting, obviously, but like too close to not call the shot and try them, which I think we knocked down. Well, I guess we knocked down 4 out of the 2 groups or whatever.
Yeah.
Which the one group was bigger. We should have probably killed a little bit more, but the second group I don't think was that big, or the third group, I guess in general. But did you guys hear about the pintail?
No. Yeah. You guys let it go on your side, didn't you?
No, it was your guys' side. It was on the left side.
We were in the middle.
Okay, so it was the left side. You didn't hear about this?
No.
So me and Tanner seen this pintail coming in, and I think I don't know if you guys remember this or not. There was like a 4-pack coming straight in on us. I called the shot on the 4-pack that came in right on us, but there was another like 4 or 5-pack that came in from the left. Do you remember that at all or anything? Like there was like 2 different groups like coming in on us. Like one of the groups circled us and one of the groups came like straight in at us. And the group from the left had a pintail in it. And me and Tanner were like, dude, I'm pretty sure that was a pintail. And nobody shot at it.
Oh.
Not one person. But the crazy thing is, like, out of the last 3 years out of that hole, the only things that we've shot out of it was 1 farm duck and those 2 black ducks and mallards. And that's it. Which is crazy because, like, out of that area right there, just the area in general, you would think there'd be a bunch of different species in that hole, especially like even like wood ducks in general. Like the first day we hunted on opening morning, I thought for sure we would see like some wood ducks buzzing us like early in the morning. We haven't seen one wood duck. We haven't seen anything but mallards in that hole besides the black ducks, and which obviously it's, you know,
or at least some bands in that area.
I'm telling you, man, we shot 1 band out of it last year.
Goose band or duck
goose band. And it was when it was dried up. They were in there thick. And opening day, they just, I think they went down to the next big property that everybody wants to hunt, but you got to sign like a stack of papers this thick to even farm the property. I think you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The farmer owns the property on the other side of the highway.
Yeah.
Okay. So they all moved down that way because we had a snow goose in there last year and everything. But we shot 1 local bird out of there last year. That was like 10 years old or whatever, but still a local bird. But out of like the 300, 400, 500 ducks that we've ever shot out of that, we've never shot 1 duck band out of there. Not one. Which is insane to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
But honestly, with you guys and one other person in the area, that you guys are the only people that I know that shot even duck bands around us.
Shit, we've only shot 1.
Well, I mean, just in general, I mean, you guys shot 1 more than us, so I mean, it's like we haven't shot 1. I've only ever seen 1 duck band die in my life.
We have bad luck with bands.
Yeah.
At least with honker bands.
We do too.
I think we've shot 1 in the past 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, 2.
We don't even know if we shot it. We were pulling out one day, and in a bean field there's a dead goose. And I went out there and got it, and it was banded. So.
Well, hey.
Now you shot that one.
It was a cripple from somebody.
You shot that one up north at at Houghton Lake on the public land.
Yeah.
We last year was our first year shooting bands in the area that we hunt, and we shot 4.
All from around here, or
no, all way up north.
Oh, okay.
All the way up north, but like that was the first. Like, so out of the 4 years, 5 years that we've been hunting around the area, those were the first goose bands that we've shot around. 2 of them were from the same hunt. I think one was when you guys were hunting across the freeway from us.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I remember that you texted Ryan. You were like, "You guys skybus?"
Yeah. That hunt. Cause I think I even talked about that last podcast even too with like the other guys are hunting across the road from us, and it's like, you guys gotta knock that shit off right now, dude. I'm about to come over there and beat you with my butt of the gun. But I can't remember the other one that we shot. I think it was earlier in the year, maybe. Yeah, no, it was earlier. It was September or opening day of duck or something like that. 2 during the hunt, and then that 1 later in the year. So, whatever it was. But, I mean, those were the only bands that we shot around the area. I think we got a high population of geese, obviously. I just don't think we have like the.
Well, it seems like everybody else around us shoots bands.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, man. Everybody around us shoots bands, but like that area, though. I mean, well, even the people around us shoot a lot of bands, but like we just can't kill them.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's stupid. But I always say, like, doesn't matter what your lanyard looks like with bands or whatever it is. It's it's just a piece of metal at the end of the day. And if you cut a goose's foot off of every goose you shot, then what is your kind of lanyard say about you? Because everybody on social media and this, that, and the other wants to be like, oh, you guys, the lanyard's full, this, that, and the other. And it's like, well, where are they hunting at? Are they hunting across the road from where they banned them at, or what's going on? Yeah. But I will say, like, if that makes you happy, it makes you happy. If you shoot a band, you shoot a band, whatever. But what do you got to say? Because I just see you laughing over there.
Shooting the local bands, I mean.
I want to have a lanyard full of, like, non.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's me personally. Uh-huh. That's just me.
I would say we so where we hunt, we've shot a couple hundreds of geese, but literally right across the street, there's this one guy that shoots probably 10 a year.
He'll go out there, shoot 3 geese, 2 of them are banded. Yeah. It's just
what?
Yeah.
Oh. That ain't always there, dude.
Yeah.
That ain't always there.
I shot one pretty far away 2 weekends ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I seen that.
Yeah.
That was the same day opening.
I hunted with them Saturday, and then a bunch of guys from my work. A guy from my work has a pond.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
all went and hunted that.
I seen that.
We only shot 8, but a 3-pack come in first flock of the morning, and we dumped, I think, all 3, and 1 cripple got away. And the one was banded, and the other one wasn't. And the guy just found it on his pond like 2 days ago. The other one was banded too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was
so 2 out of 3 were banded.
Yeah.
No kidding.
It was far away in Ontario.
Like Moosonee?
No, it was something with an A. I'll find it right here.
Ottawa?
Something like that.
I just made that up.
I don't even know.
What is this? Ottapaski. Shoot. My buddy Van would know exactly.
It's right on the Hudson Bay.
I don't even want to pronounce it because that sounds like something that I can't say. Which I already know that, dude. You're just trying to make me look like a bigger one. Yeah, no. Atascocita. I don't. Okay. Onward.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. But yeah, that's where I think most of our bands were last year. Was like Moosonee, Ottawa, or whatever the hell that was banded from. We shot that one UFC band. Like I said, it's a lot of birds in our area. We just don't get a lot. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, that one feed even last year that you guys seen. Were you with Ryan that day, or were
we probably both were?
Yeah.
With the snows and the specs.
That was just Justin.
Oh, that was just me.
I mean, that was probably, 1,500 birds in that field?
Yeah, it was something crazy.
Stupid, man. Stupid. You tell me we did shoot one band that day, but you're telling me there was only one band in that whole entire group?
There's no way.
Camo. I don't know. But, so, a little deep dive into the area. With you guys hunting and stuff like that, what is the... I don't know, pressure or, how do you guys come about the hunting pressure or the people around the area? Like, I mean, we dealt with, obviously, people around the area, and we know the pressure we're talking about. But even the guys from last year-wise that we've got to know, and I'll shout them out again, dude, the Highland waterfowl guys. But, like, with talking to those guys and them guys getting, permission this year and actually being able to communicating with your guys' group this year like that, I mean, there's always guys that are kind of slowly, I guess, creeping in, it seems like. Mm-hmm. What are you guys kind of doing that are making your guys' self different from everybody else? Or is there anything
scouting.
really?
Yeah, I would just say
a lot more.
Yeah, I would say scouting is one of the biggest things, and then just kind of like being realistic.
Right.
Their spreads are, just being different than everybody else.
Dive bomb.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you don't run dive bombs, we do.
Screw you guys. Dude, I was sitting there that day. I think it was the second weekend of season. I think it was when you guys burned them up that day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you and Ryan both were like sending me pictures of dive bombs. Like, dude, screw you guys, dude. Because like we didn't. I think we literally only shot like a handful of birds or whatever it was each day, and it's like.
Well, you guys seen a good bit that day.
We did. It was just, dude, the weather's been so off this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's been so off this year. I feel like it's been, cold in the mornings and then it's so hot in the afternoons or midday or whatever. And it switches over so quick from hot to cold. But, I mean, I'll say the same thing for us wise, though. It's like just being different with spreads or the calling aspect of it all. And that's what's so hard, even like with Saturday's standpoint of it all. It's like if the geese want to be here, they're going to want to be here. Like like what geese are even giving us a look. If they're not giving us a look, like good luck, because whatever you do, they're not going to come in. You know what I mean? Like we don't need 10 guys duck calling because the ducks are obviously coming right to this hole. Like they want to be here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be wailing on them. And that was a big thing with even the field ducks for us in prior years. We've had guys that, say you have 12 guys out there like we did Saturday, 9 of them are wailing on their mallard call. Have you ever seen that in a dry field, like with mallards wailing on it? It's like 1-2 guys maybe tops. Like that's all you need. Like even that hole that we hunted, like none of us probably needed to even call.
No, not for them ducks. They were in there.
And there was some
by the time they seen it.
Oh, there was some of them ducks on the very far tree line. They were committed all the way even there. Like there was some ducks that were just wanting to give it up completely. And the one duck that I do regret is 2 ducks, the pintail one, and then the one duck that I let fly out of the hole when those geese were kind of like when I ran back. And I think that's when I lost my phone. But when the geese were flying back and kind of coming towards us, but then that Drake mallard landed 10 yards away from us.
Oh, if he
just sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there, just fat old green bean, just sitting there hanging out. And I'm like, no, geese are coming. No, they never came. Duck never came either. Well, the duck came, but it was just, we never
came and went.
Yeah,
I would say there's a lot of things we do differently, versus
right.
you guys. But there's a lot of things that we do the same too. I'd say all the basics are still there.
Well, the basics can never really leave, though. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the basics always got to kind of be there because for us, and I feel like there's a point where I almost even get ahead of myself on stuff where it's like, all right, let's take a step back and let's go just to your basic stuff. Like even if that means for us barely calling and maybe throwing 2 to even a dozen decoys out. You know what I mean? Just something just basic in general, just whatever. You know what I mean? It you don't have to be this giant whole thing. You just go back to your roots and you'll be all right. You know what I mean? I don't know. But I am personally about to go take a piss break.
10-4.
Yeah, I need to take one too.
All right. We'll be back. We're back. Robby was just trying to say something about pressure, whether we were talking about pressure or not. But what were you going to say, Robby? Are you talking about pressure on the area?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the area, I don't think it's crazy bad pressure. I mean, there's a lot of guys that hunt, but I think it's how small the area is that we're all trying to hunt is what fucks us.
Well, the good thing about with, the Dirty 30, Great Lakes, Banging Waterfowl Collab, whatever you fucking want to say, we're shooting 2 different types of birds over there. Granted, the birds where I'm hunting are going over there, and some of the birds over there where you guys are hunting are going where we're hunting, whatever. But, I mean, the thing is a lot of people don't even understand the roost and the loafs and stuff like that because every hunt I feel like is different, and the birds are different where, the one permanent blind that is in the ditch, I'll say.
Yeah.
I've had birds from your guys' side come over to here, and I'm sure you guys had birds over there or on my side go over to that side. And that's what's nice about even like teaming up with the guys that are hunting around you and actually like not being like that kind of standoffish group and getting to know each other and creating that friendship and stuff and working together wise, because which me and Justin have talked a lot more than anybody probably in your guys' group. I mean, nothing towards anybody, obviously, but just talking wise, you know, being able to understand, like, you know, we'll help you guys out, we'll help each other out, and at the end of the day, everything's going to go a lot better. You know what I mean? And there is a lot of pressure with the guys trying to sneak in, but with the properties that we have around our areas, there is, but there isn't. I feel like with pressure in there, you know what I mean? There's guys that try to get in between where they can. Can you really blame them though? Mm-hmm. Not really. But all I ask is for them to do the right thing on the on the traffic hunts that they are hunting. You know what I mean? And obviously everybody wants to shoot birds on their hunts, but I'm the kind of type of person where it's like, if the birds are,
you'd rather shoot them
60, yeah, you know, 60 plus yards up. I mean, this is your guys' first year's hunting with us. I mean, I hope you guys can see at some point where like we're shooting birds like decoying in, or I mean, Saturday was a prime example with them ducks. Like, you know, we had 12 guys out there, and them ducks are landing perfectly in the center of all the guys. At, you know, I think our furthest shot where those geese were 30 yards up, 20, 30 yards up, and that was our furthest shot all morning. I mean, those are the kind of shots that we want to be taking every day in and day out. You know what I mean? And I just kind of hope the next guy, like in the field next to us trying to traffic those birds, are doing the same thing, because at the end of the day, if you are sky busting or doing whatever, or shooting a 10 gauge, and shooting the birds way out though, are not doing anything but making it harder for them and us at the end of the day. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, that's like we talked about. That's what's so nice about 100%. But that's what's so nice about like communicating with you guys this year and getting to know you guys, and the communication between farmers and hunters around your area is such an important thing that people don't want to do. And I understand like the waterfowl industry is such a cutthroat thing where you're scared so-and-so is going to take your property behind your back and this, that, you know. Well, at the end of the day, that's your own fault, because in this is my opinion 100%, but my opinion is, if you're scared that somebody's going to take your property behind your back, then you're not doing a good enough job on your property owner, or for like towards your property owner, and with the communication standpoint of everything. You might be that yearly guy that only talks to them when you want to go out there. You're not doing the extra steps or anything to make it a relationship with them, because if you're making a relationship with the property owners, it almost turns into like your family in general. You know what I mean? Like you're taking care of them, they're going to take care of you. If you're going to talk to them one time a year, why do they even care about you in general? You're just one of those guys. You know what I mean? And obviously, like the bigger farms that we hunt, you can't just be a no-name person, I guess, that's just going to jump out there, which obviously we all are a no-name person. But, like, you got to gain that respect from people. You just can't expect to jump on there and do what we're able to do on those properties. Right. But like I said, communication is such a big thing with whether it's the groups or the farmers or whatever. And there's no reason for the people around us anyway. Because I remember I'll shout them out again, the Highland guys, when I first started talking to them guys this past year. And even for you guys though too, it was one of those things where we started talking and it's like, I got to be careful what I say or what I do or this, that, and the other. And I don't want to say too much. And then those guys were like, well, dude, why are you even talking to us right now? And it's like, well, dude, to be honest with you, which obviously we had a little bit different of a circumstance than those guys
Mm-hmm.
and I did. They're like, why are you even talking to us? And it's like, well, dude, I've hunted the fields that you've hunted. I've been in this area years prior than you. Like, I'm just trying to get to know you guys. Like, I'm not trying to step on your guys' toes. I'm just trying to, like, work with you guys. Like, and you guys, like, I'm not trying to step on your toes, obviously, and I'm just trying to work with you guys. And you know, obviously, like I said, at first, you're kind of cautious of what you say, but at the end of the day, when you actually get to meet some people, you're just if they do better, then you do better,
Right.
and if you do better, they do better, kind of thing. That's the way I look at it. You know what I mean?
Well, one thing I think that's been pretty cool is, you know, at the beginning it was kind of like, you know, we didn't know what to say, like what you were saying, but like now we've kind of gotten to the point where if we can't get out and scout and you're out scouting, you'll text us,
Right.
Hey, where do I look?
Right.
Or, you know, vice versa.
Right.
I mean, that's helped out a lot, I think, on, you know, at least our end, and
100%.
I hope
Yeah.
on your end too.
Yeah. 100%.
You don't really see that, I would say, right now, just because going back to like the pressure thing, you know,
Right.
we've dealt with it before. You know, you don't really want to tell too much,
Right.
just because you don't.
Well, because
shoot
you know
yourself
you don't know what you're actually dealing with until you're
until you meet them.
dealing
Honestly.
with it. Right. Right. Like, because you know, I've had and we've had people that, you know, you tell something to, and next thing you know, some way, somehow, they're getting the properties right next door to you. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, dude, like, are we working together or are we working separately? Like, what the hell is going on here? And they're working separately. But it's like, you know, I'm taking you out here thinking that you're going to be helping us out in the long run. Like, where's the help at, dude? Because like, I'm not going to keep telling you like where to scout or where to do this, where to do that when you're not doing anything for me. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if I lose you, what's it to me? Like, there's nothing that I'm losing on it.
Right.
You know, it's just, it's obviously getting to know people, knowing the trust or, you know, trusting people with like your spots, but trusting people with the right mindset and, what's the word I'm looking for? Consciousness of respecting the spots that you have or the area that you have and not trying to backdoor you with it all or like talk down on you because like I said, we're all just trying to help each other out. If you help me, you help yourself out, and I don't know, goes a long way. What do you gotta say, Justin?
Trying to think of something, honestly. I had a question for you in the back of my head. I just can't remember it right now.
Whatever, dude. Go do some laundry.
Yo,
No. I don't know. I think, you know, with the struggles this year, I don't think it's been a bad year. With getting to know you guys, obviously, it's for me personally, with the groups that you guys have, it's been, you know, a really good time, and I'm grateful and pissed off at myself at the same time that it's taken this long, because for the longest time it's been such a, you know, honestly like a hatred kind of thing, I guess you want to say, towards each other without even knowing each other. And it's like, why kind of thing? Because I feel like we could have had this relationship started off like 2-3 years ago, and it could be, not saying it's not great now, but it could be 20 times better right now. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's like, you got to be able to communicate to people to understand the people. You can't just assume stuff. And we talked about that before the podcast, where, you know, just being able to talk to people is a huge thing, whether it be in the turkey woods or the goose field. I didn't mean anything by that. You're the one laughing at it right now. No, I don't know. But that's the thing, though. It's like, it's at the end of the day, it's a joking thing. You know what I mean? Like, you're supposed to have fun with this. Hunting and stuff, it's a fun thing, and people take it way too serious nowadays. And that's why it's so cutthroat. And it's like, dude, it's not a job, man. You're supposed to go out and have fun with your friends. And that's why I think one of the things with inviting so many people out is just because I want to have fun with friends and family and stuff like that, and everybody enjoying it. And for me personally, I don't even have to pull the trigger. Like that day when Paul came, I don't even think I took my gun out of the case that day. Obviously, because we had 14 other guys there, or 13 other guys there. But, you know, like bringing you guys out this year, it's like, you know, I want to have you guys have a good hunt or whatever. Or like having the guy from Texas this past weekend, I want to have him have a good hunt. And it's just, I don't know. That's the biggest thing for me is like seeing the Snapchats or the pictures and stuff like that after the hunt. That's what goes further for me than pulling the trigger and actually killing, I guess, kind of thing.
Now I would
Call
say
me queer, but whatever.
Well, one question I got: you got any goals, like anything you want to shoot, or you know, anywhere you want to go next couple of years? Or like just goals for you know, the Great Lakes Outdoors, you know, group or whatever.
I guess for the Great Lakes page, being that I don't know, informational, helping people out standpoint, or getting new people into, like, example wise, like the Andrew guy this weekend that we hunted with. He comes out with us once a year or whatever, twice a year, whatever it is, and getting him out there and getting more people involved with maybe not just so much the field hunting aspect of it all, but just so much of the waterfowl aspect of it all, just getting people involved with it. And, you know, we've taken those kids out this year.
Sweet.
Yeah, Liam and gosh darn it, Carter. Jeez, oh, Pete. Liam and Carter and their dad Mike and their buddy, and just getting those kind of people out there. Like that's kind of what I want to keep striving for every year. Like getting the kids out there, getting new people out there. Like every year, it seems like we're getting new people out there because like Goodman, his first year was last year.
Oh, no kidding.
Devin's first year was the year prior to that. And they're hooked on it. So like seeing like the newer people come out and having them hooked on it the way that those guys have been hooked on it, and same with like Liam and Carter and stuff like that in the younger generation, I like to kind of keep pushing towards that. I think that's like the biggest goal with stuff is, you know, even like my sister's first year was last year, and seeing the excitement out of them guys, whether it be pigeons that Liam wants. Liam wants to shoot more pigeons than geese with whatever reason it is. I don't know. I think he needs help. But
I say that one day that we were hunting at Permanent Blind,
yeah,
there was pigeons coming in and geese coming in, and
he cared more. Yeah,
pigeons.
he cared more about the pigeon. Yeah, it was whatever, dude. I've talked to Mike about it. Yeah, I think we're gonna start a GoFundMe app for help for Liam, but but that's the kind of stuff that like even Carson.
Oh, yeah.
Like that kind of stuff though. You know what I mean? Like getting him more involved with that kind of stuff and seeing how good of a kid he is and you know, that's the kind of stuff that goes a longer ways than anything for me. Mm-hmm. But what about you guys? I mean, you guys started your guys' pages wide. What made you guys start the page? Because nowadays it seems like everybody is starting pages and pages and pages. What started like your guys' page for you?
Yeah. So honestly, Robby made one before I
had
did.
one first.
And he didn't tell any of us.
You did it?
No.
Were you scared?
Not really.
If you're scared, you got to go to church on Sundays, dude. Come on.
Well, and
You go to church on Sunday?
No.
Okay.
he had like, you know, a couple ducks on there and some. So I was like, man, this is pretty badass. And I
Right.
was like, well, I said, let me make one.
Right.
And my whole goal was just kind of, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest thing that I would say with our group is it's fucking fun.
Right. Right.
And just kind of, you know, now especially looking back at the memories we've made over the years.
Right.
I don't really have a goal with it. You know, obviously, like we've sold the sweatshirts. That's sweet and stuff to see
Right.
people wearing those. But just kind of going to see where it takes us. One goal I would say, like with us is I'd like to just keep going back, hunting different spots all over. For the middle zone, maybe try something new.
We gotta get together next year with that, because I know we talked about it this year while you guys were up there. But maybe next year we'll figure something out where you guys meet up with us and hunt with us for the weekend or whatever.
Yeah, even North Dakota. You guys
North
come
Dakota,
out there.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we've talked about that a couple times.
Yeah, I'm
you guys
down
coming
for that,
out there
for sure.
I think you'd be kind of blown away about the differences of it.
I'm sure.
The only thing is you got to ride with Ryan the whole way up there.
Oh, dude, I ain't doing laundry all weekend.
Guy Brian.
Yeah.
I ain't doing laundry. Screw that. I don't know. I guess it's even for us, though, too. It's like there's no really end goal for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like a getaway from your own life kind of thing, I guess is the best way to just explain that Great Lakes page, where even like the podcast-wise, we come here, we can hang out, we can shoot pool, we can hang out in the podcast room, we can drink beer, whatever it is, and just get away from just life and talk about hunting and deer hunting or waterfowl hunting, whatever it is. And it's just our own little getaway from our personal accounts, or like you can post that kind of stuff, because let's face it, at the end of the day, everybody wants to be that guy. But I'll say time and time again, where if you just be yourself and just continue with being yourself, you're going to get so much further in life in general than anything. But like, personally, I don't feel like I'm a very self-centered person, so I don't want it to be like on my own personal page and pushing that kind of stuff. I want it to be on like a different platform where it's like pushing like a
you and all your buddies.
Yeah, kind of that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like with like sharing like your guys' stuff or whatever. It's like that's kind of stuff like I want to push on like that kind of platform. It's like a second kind of life for me, where it's away from my personal life, because I, at the same time, I won't want to kind of keep that separated, which I barely post on my personal page anymore. But like, I want to keep it separated. I want to keep my hunting on this page, and I want to keep my personal life separated from it all, and go from there. You know what I mean? But what about you, Robby? What kind of made you start and make you hide everything?
I don't know. I didn't really hide it. I didn't have it too long before I told Justin. But I just thought it was cool, just posting pictures of just that, kind of like you said, like a second thing that wasn't your main Instagram or whatever. But yeah, just having fun with it. Not really.
Yeah,
there's no end goal. I'd say just like you guys, just having fun.
Right.
Well, I'd say one thing that's pretty cool is, like you talk to a bunch of people from all over the country.
100%.
There's one guy. We met him in North Dakota. And actually, a couple of guys we met in North Dakota. One guy lives in Texas, and I was showing you the video.
Oh, yeah.
Their opening day this last weekend out in Dallas.
Yeah, nuts.
So it's kind of cool just to connect with everybody. I'd say that part is really cool. I'll go up to Robby and, hey, dude, this guy from Texas or this guy from Oklahoma just hit us up. That stuff's not what you would get on your normal day-to-day basis.
And I feel like that's a whole thing with waterfowl hunting in general, too, because you get to meet so many different people. Because, like, say I stuck with the deer hunting, I would have never got to know you guys. I'd have never known who you guys are. I'd never have this podcast. I'd never have I might have the Great Lakes page with Trav, but it might be just strictly deer hunting in general. And I feel like waterfowl, there's so many doors there to open. You just got to be open-minded enough to open those doors up, because like I said, or what you just said, there's so many people to meet from all over the country wise. Like there's a guy from Tennessee that wants to come up and hunt, and there's just guys from everywhere that want to come, and I don't care who comes. It's just getting to meet people. It's not that I want to be that big or anything. It's just in general, just getting to know people, or how do you hunt down there. And that's the whole, like I've said it time and time again on this podcast, even like, how do you guys hunt compared to us? How do you do this compared to us? Like I want to learn as much as I can, just like the people listening to this whole thing.
Now, what kind of got you into waterfowl hunting? You know, you said you've been doing it since like high school.
So
what got you into it?
So their ex-girlfriend's dad was like, "Hey, come out waterfowl hunting, come out hunting, just that." You know, I'm like, "Dude, that's dumb, man. Like, I'm not sitting on the river freezing my butt off. I'm not doing it." Hunted the river one time. I think we shot like 8, 9 ducks, whatever it was. A couple mallards, a couple buffies. Thought it was sweet. Kept on getting invited to New York. And it's my buddy Trevor with Finger Lakes Guide Service out there. Went out there one year, and after that I was hooked. Like the field hunting aspect of it all and working the geese and being able to do all that stuff out in the fields and not dealing with all the pressure around and stuff. And I was like, all right, dude, I'm hooked on this. And then me and my buddy Bailey went out bird hunting during deer season. My dad's like, dude, you're dumb. Like nobody in my family like bird hunted at all. Like nobody. And my dad's like, dude, you guys are stupid. Like you guys are staying out in the freezing cold water and not even deer hunt. Like how dumb are you guys? But like, mind you, like we were seeing like the same 3 deer every single night deer hunting up north. And bird hunting, like when me and Bailey went, we took my cousin's airboat out. My cousin's like, here, throw my waders on. I just bought them, this, that, and the other, and go crazy with the airboat. You won't get it stuck. First thing we did, we got it stuck. And Bailey put a hole right in the waders, cut his hand wide open. I think we shot like 2 ducks or whatever it was. And it was just one of those things where it's like we're joking around, we're laughing, we're setting decoys. Like I loaded the whole back of my truck up with my buddy's decoys. I didn't have any decoys to like I loaded up, like I just borrowed decoys from him and stuff, and we literally hunted my cousin's pond every single day of the year and just hoped to shoot a couple birds. You know what I mean? Me and Trav finally went out there and shot 3 geese, and we're like, dude, this is, yeah, I think that's what hooked me. It was like, it's like turkey hunting though, like the communication or trying to get birds to a spot where they're normally not at was the whole thing of it all. You know what I mean? It's not deer hunt where you're just standing still and then, you know, I got the dog and having her out there and now Rip out there and meeting all the people, and it was just all of that kind of was going on. And then my dad started getting into it. My uncle got into it, and then it was kind of more of a family thing. And then I just kept on expanding and expanding from there. But I think it was just the more of the communication and stuff during the hunt and having the friends and family out there and talking through it all compared to what I grew up doing was like I said, deer hunting and being quiet and sitting still. And now we're cooking breakfast out there and the permanent blinds and stuff. Like I said, it hasn't been that long, but like it's I wouldn't change it for the world. You know what I mean?
Now, what made you switch from like hunting mainly water to hunting mainly fields? Just getting permission, or
I don't know. There's something about geese for me. Honestly, there's something about geese for me that like is a love-hate relationship. I love chasing them, hate hunting them because half the time they beat me. But I think it's more of like I said, the talking to them kind of thing, like making them wanting to come to. Because I'm a firm believer there's an X between, like within the X. Like you have an X field, but there's an X in that field that they want to be at, right? So if we're hunting, you know, one of the permanent blinds, for example, like getting them to commit and decoy perfectly. Like say even Saturday they wanted to be on the other side of the little water hole, but we're making them land 10 feet away from us, like perfectly in the hole and communicating with them and getting them right into there. It's something about that makes me want to keep on getting better and better and better. But there's one big thing, which is calling, that I want to get better at. Calling is a big thing, obviously, but it's not the biggest thing I feel like you can do for bird hunting, but it's a tool that you can use that could better yourself.
I would say, touching on that, what's bigger than knowing how to call is knowing when to call. That what I say.
Reading the birds is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially when they're in the air flying and stuff like that. Like I talked, when Mike and his cousin was on, I think it was last week's podcast. It was, or I don't know when this is going to drop, but previous week's podcast. But knowing what birds are yours and what aren't yours, like we were, I guess, hunting more of a loaf last weekend, I would say.
Yeah.
Besides those 3, they were coming in like they were wanting to eat. But, like, some of those birds, we you know for a fact they weren't coming in. You know what I mean? So you might as well just give up. You still want to kind of hide because there's a chance that they'll come in after the fact because if they see out there, odds are they're probably still not going to come in. Excuse me, still not going to come in. Jeez, oh, Pete. But I don't know. It's like I said. I think the waterfowl aspect of it all. I think it's more of like the calling and the camaraderie with the people and having a good time out there. And obviously, it can get stressful at times, which we've talked about a little bit. But it works for us. You know what I mean? But it keeps me going. Keeps me going. The hardest part for me though too sometimes is when I don't want to go and everybody else wants to go and it's like, dude, I just want to sleep in, man. Because like Sunday was the first day I slept in since August, I think it was. That was the first day I slept in. Every single weekend, I think.
I think that it's actually the same for us too. We've been kind of, going we've been communicating with you too.
Yeah.
We've been going every weekend since the beginning of September.
And it's tough, man. It's like, so there's some guys that like don't go out every weekend with you, and it's like, dude, why aren't we hunting today? And it's like, well, I got the birds. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, dude, I got to catch up on some sleep, man. Like I've been, and I think what did it for me was the previous weekend was when I worked all night and then hunted, and then slept like 2 hours, then did a pedal bar, and then I did a podcast, and then woke up 3 hours later by the end of the night, and then hunted again. It's like, dude, now I gotta go to work the next day. Like, dude, this sucks, man. But I don't know. There's a lot of things that go about it, but it's what everybody calls it, the grind for a reason.
Oh yeah.
But I think a lot of people also don't know what the grind actually means with scouting and stuff like that. But we even talked about it before the podcast a little bit. You hunted public land a little bit, Robby?
Oh, yeah.
You mostly hunt public land?
Probably for the first 2 years I hunted, it was pretty much all public land, yeah.
Okay. Now, how is that different compared to, like where are you at now in your hunting career compared to?
I hunt mostly private now, and I hunt with Justin and Ryan. That's about it, but it's a lot different. I mean, you're fighting different battles, public land and private land. I guess you can say you can focus a lot more on the birds in private land.
Right.
Versus you're worrying about other people and other factors and stuff on public land, but that's about it.
That's what, I mean, even for us now in general, in our area, my biggest problem is like second guessing even like the spread or the height or, well, what if these guys are hunting over there and we're hunting here? Can they screw us over, or can we get away with this? Can we get away with that, or are they going to get away with that, or whatever? Trying to outsmart the birds and the people around us, and we're lucky enough for where we hunt. I mean, there's 4 or 5 people maybe that hunt around us that like religiously hunt. I guess because you get the September guys though. Don't get me wrong. Later in the year when deer season starts, so it seems like we literally have like 3 to 4 guys around our area, and I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
And I mean, other than maybe one other group, I don't think there's anybody that hunts as hard as both of our groups in our area. I don't think that puts in as much time and work as we do.
No, I don't think so either. I mean, I don't know. Even beyond our area, 2 other groups that put in the amount of time that we put on the road and scouting and stuff like that. But like scouting for me is even watching the birds in the field. Like I'll sit on the field for an hour, just watch the birds, or like watch them leave and see how they're leaving, or see what they're doing in the field, or try to mock what they're doing in the field, or whatever it is. Like I don't think, like I said, even beyond our area, I don't think there's another group that's really doing it the way that we're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even with our groups, there's nobody that's watching the birds that we're like the way that we're watching them, or and I mean, I really don't think you can compare to anybody else, really.
And scouting to people means different things. Somebody just go by a field and say, "Oh yeah, there's geese in there."
100%.
And you go get some people who think there's a lot of geese, and there might only be 20.
Right. I hate that too, man. Like you get a text from you get a text from the farmer, and it's like, dude, we got a bunch of geese over here, and it's like just 15 geese going crazy in the field. It's like, dude, I'm not hunting that, dude. I'm sorry, but like that ain't even worth it for me right now, man. That ain't even worth it. What would you guys rather hunt, ducks or geese?
Ducks, for
Ducks.
sure.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Why is that?
Ducks in a dry field, for sure.
I would say ducks in a cornfield. Yeah.
Dry field?
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's anything that can beat it.
I mean, geese are sweet, but there's just something about it.
I love late season geese,
About a mallard drake.
Now, do you think that's just because of the fact that we shoot so many geese during the season that you would rather shoot a drake mallard in the field compared to a goose? Like, say it was the other way around, like you'd shoot like
A little bit, yeah. I think it's definitely more rare around here to shoot ducks in a dry field than geese, obviously. But
because I feel like some of the guys like that we take out throughout the year, it's like, they obviously shoot more ducks, so it's like you shoot 10 geese and they're like thrilled about it because they don't shoot a lot of geese in the water.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of that, but I don't know if it's just shooting them on dry ground and not being in the water. It's nice about it, but there's just something about it.
I'll tell you that is one nice thing though. Dry field hunting though, like you ain't got to worry about water getting wet or whatever it was.
Walking
because
through muck.
Yeah, man, walking like a mile through the mud or whatever. Because the first duck hunt, like I was talking about, that I went on when we set those mallards and buffies on, which I had a picture of, but I don't know. I gotta go there one day this week and try to find that damn phone too. I remember sitting there, dude, just my hands were freezing, picking up decoys out of the water, and just because I didn't know any better. I brought one pair of gloves or whatever it was, and it was tough, man. Do you guys ever hunt like the big water or anything?
I've hunted Erie a little bit, a handful of times.
Well, we hunt Erie a lot during early season.
Do you? Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess you. Yeah.
Yeah, like well, I mean, even now,
back sloughs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like we'll hunt the marshes over on Erie. When it gets cold, we kind of, we might do a quick hunt after work, but besides that, we kind of stay to what we got.
Starting out, though, I hunted down there in Monroe a little bit, and I hunted a lot, like, out towards, not Waterloo, but, like, Pinckney, Chelsea, that area.
Okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's what's tough, too, because, like, every year, like, what is your guys' yearly goals for you guys self-wise? Like, what is, like, a goal?
Well, I wouldn't say we really got, like, I mean, we don't start the year looking at, like, how many birds are we going to shoot this year. It's, we kind of go, like, week to week.
100%.
I mean, just kind of, like, bullshitting, having fun. That's our main goal. For me, I kind of, like, we kind of already know we're going to shoot birds. We don't really care how much.
Right.
But it's just, like, the camaraderie is what you said. I mean, our goal is obviously to shoot birds, but that's not the main goal.
There's been hunts that we've shot a limit in an hour and a half, and there's been hunts where we shot 2 birds all day long, and them 2 bird hunts are sometimes more fun than them limit hunts.
Those half-hour limit hunts were texting you, where's my invite? I don't know, dude. Where were you scouting at?
Well, no. I mean, even going back, I mentioned this before the podcast. When we went to North Dakota, one of my favorite hunts was, we scouted this little cattle pond for, a couple of days. We've hunted the last couple of years. There's always been birds in there. Well, I was like, the first day we went there, it was me, Ryan, and our buddy Clark. and we threw out half dozen decoys, and the birds just didn't want to decoy. So I went, me and my dog, we went and sat on the other end, and all of a sudden, started fucking popping them off. Well,
So no decoys and stuff, you said?
The next day, I had Robby drop me off in the morning, and
that was me asking Robby for a beer. And
so the next day I went out there. I had Robby drop me off in the morning. Yeah, I'll take one. Thank you. And no decoys, just played the wind. I think I shot a couple teal and a couple redheads, and my dog worked very well. I mean, that was. It's not always about the amount of birds that you shoot.
Yeah. Like that one night we were in North Dakota, and I think what we shoot, like 10? We didn't shoot that many. There's 3 of us, and we shot 10. And it was my dog's like first real hunt, mm-hmm. And it was like I could see him get to watch it. The first 3 birds were bad or whatever, but after that, it like he'd been hunting for a couple of years, and it was
that's one of the most satisfying things too, as a dog owner in general, which I have 2 now. Is seeing that light bulb click for him.
Mm-hmm. It's like a switch.
Yeah. It just see. Whoa, that was a little high pitch there, huh? But to see that light bulb click and see them like, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that. All right, I could do that. Let me see if you know what I mean. Like it's just one of those things where it's like it's so nice.
I think it's very rewarding. You put in a lot of work with the dogs since they're 8 weeks old,
right?
And I mean it's just awesome to see them do what they were bred to do,
100%.
I think the coolest hunt we had out there in North Dakota was me, Justin, and Drew, and it was a small hole, probably like the size of that concrete out there.
Okay.
And
half the size of the pond we hunted this last weekend.
Oh, really?
But almost the same thing in the middle of a standing cornfield.
I think we had 3 or 4 decoys, and I mean, we shot, I think, 1 mallard, but the gadwall, just the way they come in there, and you knew which birds you were shooting. Yeah. They decoy 5 feet. There's only 3 of us. It was just awesome.
That's what I think this weekend, well, I said, I don't know when this is coming out, but the weekend we're talking right now, or the week that we're talking, because after tomorrow, I got off like a week or something. I might try to take the dogs out, just me and the dogs, and maybe try to scratch out a limit of geese or whatever, and maybe that field that we can only hunt during the weekdays or whatever, or something just to take them out there. And I took Ellie, my black lab, out one time by myself, and it was just like we didn't even shoot anything. It was just nice to just kind of sit there and hang out. You know what I mean? It was a nice kind of just relaxing kind of night. You know what I mean?
Now I would go back to like what you were saying about that gadwall hunt, about how different it is from Michigan. We sat there, no blind, barely any decoys. I mean, just shot the piss out of them. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just completely different.
Yeah. No calling.
Yeah, no calling.
I think we had 3 decoys out there. I think that was
I'll tell you what, though, man. Them barely any decoys this year have been working for us, too, down here.
That one day we had, what, half a dozen, if even.
The silage, the sweet corn?
Sweet corn field.
Oh, man, dude, that was the dumbest hunt I've ever been on in my life.
Yeah. I mean, that just goes back to the part where, like, them birds, some of them birds already know where they're going.
Well, I'll bring you back to this. It's hunting areas smart, which is obviously a whole nother topic, but not hunting the, like, so for us, example, where we can hunt, where the permanent blinds are at, that's one roost wise.
Right.
Uh-huh. Where
we're at, it's completely different.
Well, so that's a whole nother roost there. Where that other group was at, the silage field. You know what I'm talking about? No. The silage field in September. I don't want to drop too many names. It's the cattle farmer.
Did he cuss somebody out?
Oh,
Close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that field that I was scouting.
Yes. Yeah. You worked one night and then sat there that morning.
Yeah. I sat there for almost every morning that week.
Yeah. So that farm, that's a whole nother roost. The field we hunted this weekend, that's a whole nother roost. Yeah. And then even like the fog field with Paul, that's a whole different roost there. So it's nice to be able to, like even the fields down like this way where we can hunt is obviously a whole different roost. And it's nice to be able to split them birds up to not pressure those birds, because I feel like that's a big thing around here too, where people are chasing those birds everywhere they go if they have the opportunity to do so. And it makes them that much harder to kill every single weekend going on. You know, it's nice to be able to hunt this roost one day, that roost one day, and let the birds rest a week. You know what I mean? It's nice to be able to kind of give them a break.
But I think that's what makes it kind of fun too, is when you get, like, when you know you're hunting a lot of pressured birds and you get them to work for you.
It is.
That too is very rewarding too, because like all the work you put in to make it as realistic as possible.
For sure.
And then you get these birds that have been shot at since, maybe Canada or so, come all the way down and, they work for you. That to me is pretty cool.
No, it definitely is. But like to have that successful hunt, because let's face it, at certain points of the year, like I'll even say like this point of the year, every bird is pretty pressured. Yeah. I'll say like every bird that we've probably have shot at or has
seen us spread before.
Well, we've been finding birds that have old BBs in them.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like
they've already been shot at either previous years or this year.
Right. And that's what's crazy about, like, even like with the band stories and stuff like that, like having 11, 12-year-old bands from way up north. It's like, man, how many decoy spreads have they either flared off of or decoyed off of that haven't got shot off? And that, like I said, that's what I want to fill my lanyard up with. Like the one that I shot last year, it's literally so thin, like you feel like you can just break it right in half. Okay. And I think it's 11, 12-year-old band. And it's just like the history of all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
what's cool about it. They look cool or whatever, but you're shooting a bird from 1,000 miles away. Right. That's the cool part.
Right.
It's not.
No, 100%. 100%. But no. Any other questions that you guys got?
No, I think I'm good.
I think that's about it. I'm good.
Well, shout out to Ryan for doing laundry. I'll say it again, though. I'm glad that, we got with you guys this year. I'm glad the relationship that we've built with you guys this year. I'm glad, like, the friendship and everything that we've got going on, because I feel like with years even to come, it could, for me, it's you can really tell, like, the bonds and the friendships and the I don't know, just how people work together, I guess, you can tell who's going to be around and who's not going to be around, or like the friends that, like, it goes back to like even high school kind of type stuff. Like, where, like, you can tell, like, all right, these guys are going to be like the guys that I'm going to be hanging out with for a long time, or these guys, they might drift off a little bit, but they'll be acquaintances kind of type thing. For you guys, like, getting to know you guys this year, it was nice because I feel like years to come, many years to come, hopefully, like, I just see, for us anyway, working real good with each other wise and stuff like that. And, like, that's why I kick myself in the butt with getting to know you guys just late in the game, I feel like, even though I've heard of you guys for 2-3 years or whatever it has been. But I don't know. I'm excited. Hopefully you guys come back and do another podcast with us. Maybe later in the year or even after season, kind of do a season recap with us or whatever. And hopefully Ryan's done doing laundry at that time and wants to come out and record with us, whatever. But before we finish here, I got to do a shout out to Migra Ammunition, which I feel like you guys have both shot Migra. Robbie, have you shot Migra yet?
I did for about 2 boxes.
All right. Well, we'll get you back on it, dude. We'll get you both back on it. Shout out to those guys, the Gator Decoys, the extended poles. I think I've talked to you guys about those guys with the extended poles and stuff like that. So shout out to those guys. GK calls. We just got done talking about those guys and how good they've been towards us and the hospitality that they've had towards us. And I'll say that for every company that we've dealt with GK, Dakota Decoys, and Migra, which, like I said, I'll help you guys out with the old Migra situation. But the SX decoys, dude, I'll tell you what, those black decoys that we've been running a little bit here and there, they've been looking stellar out in the fields. And I don't know about you guys, but I feel like they've helped a lot with those like little traffic kind of hunts and stuff like that. They stick out like crazy for me.
Oh yeah.
Which I think we got another dozen in the mail the other day, or 6 or something. I don't know what we just got. I forget what we just got. But shout out to the SX guys. I don't know. Shout out to all the sponsors that we have, and I don't know. Shout out to you guys just in general. The Dirty 30 and the old Bangin' Waterfall. What is it? Bangin' Waterfall?
Yeah. Kind of
that was rough. No. I'm glad you guys were able to come out. We've talked about this for a while now, about kind of doing like little recaps on North Dakota, and I feel like we barely even just scratched the surface on half the stuff that we could even talk about. So I would really appreciate if you guys came back again and talked about it even more, because like I said, like just scratched the surface tonight. Just kind of get to know you guys a little bit more on the podcast and stuff, and just in person wise, and maybe next time go a little bit more in depth and go from there about everything.
Yeah, I got
for sure.
One thing I want to say thank you. One for bringing us on here, and 2 for bringing us on the hunts. You put us on a lot of good hunts this year, and you and your dad been nothing but hospitality going the whole way. We come out and we feel like we're part of you guys. It's pretty cool.
I will say I feel bad sometimes though, dude, because like we do have. I do obviously appreciate you saying that. I just feel bad sometimes, like even this past weekend, like with 12 guys out there, like I want to sit next to you guys. I want to be a part of everything over there, because like, I feel like obviously we have a good time with everything out there, just like you guys have a good time with like your guys' main group of guys. And it sucks because it's like, all right, where am I sitting at, whether I have the dogs or not or whatever, and it's like, well, these guys are here, these guys are here, these guys are here. I want to sit in the middle of everybody so I can talk to everybody, and there's some days where I feel terrible about not being able to talk to everybody, but like I said, I'm glad that the groups have been such a, like, it's kind
worked out.
It's flowed so well with everything. You know what I mean? There hasn't been like one hiccup with our groups or anything, and which I figured there wouldn't be, obviously, but it's been such a relief in a sense to just to be able to communicate with you guys as well as we have, hunting so close that we do, and being able to communicate, and I don't know. It's just been nice, and I will say shout out to Ryan for not running over one of my bucks the other night. But I get it. You're still doing laundry, but no. I said thanks for coming out tonight. I know it's a little bit of a hike for you guys and stuff.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
No, it's my pleasure, man. But anything else from you guys?
That's about it.
That's it.
All right. Until next time, guys.